Spaghetti.
S-D-P. The Steve Dangle Podcast. With your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
All right. What do we want to do first? Do we want to give the Sabres their flowers or make them wait for year 15 before giving them flowers?
Yeah.
Or do we talk about the Islanders coach swap? Both big things over the weekend. It's to choose your own adventure.
Oh.
What do we want?
It's got to be the coach swap.
You want the coach swap?
I mean, that's a crazy thing to do.
Jesse, what's your vote for?
Sabres.
Oh, all right. Maddie is the tiebreak then. So Maddie, are we talking about how the Islanders fired their coach with like 5 games to go? Or are we talking about the Buffalo Sabres clinching a playoff spot for the first time in 14 years?
No, Buffalo Sabres.
All right,
More
ladies and
interesting
gentlemen,
to
the
me.
Buffalo Sabres are going to the playoffs! Congratulations to our city mates from 2 hours and a border away.
Is that? Yeah?
It's roughly 2 hours. Yeah.
You know what? Torontonians, Buffalonians, we're the same. And we've always said it.
Trip up and down the QEW.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's just a hop, skip, and a jump.
And listen, there was a time when we as Leaf fans in 16-17 made the playoffs. It was like the second time in 15 years or something like that. It was an obnoxious number. It was crazy.
It was not great.
And I remember that feeling when Connor Brown scored against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I still remember the goal and the game. It was delicious, and we had so much hope on the horizon. Man, how things turned out. I'm so glad we won so many cups since then. But anyway,
Connor Brown was good. I bet they kept him.
it's got to be one of the best feelings in the world to get that just clinched. They knew they were going,
Yeah, come on.
but the clinching's big. And I feel like that's an enormous moment for the city of Buffalo going into this season. We were pretty sure it was Kevin Adams last year. We were pretty sure it was Lindy Ruff's last year in the league.
I thought it was his last month.
Yeah.
I thought he was getting fired, man.
They have finally done it. And the Sabres this is a rebuild that went wrong. And this is where I always want to caution people about rebuilds. Retools are better. Rebuilds can go sideways in a hurry.
Yeah.
And you can get the first overall pick and several other first overall picks, actually.
Of
and
course.
it's still not work out.
That's right. Oh my God, they had well, no, not 3. They had Eichel, which is basically a first, Dahlin, and Power.
Oh, yeah. Eichel wasn't the first overall pick.
That's
what a
right.
crazy year.
No,
Right.
but you think of him like he is because
Yeah.
the whole selling point of that draft was there's basically 2.
In any other year, he's a first overall pick.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And it's a their last playoff game, April 26, 2011.
Wow. Someone posted recently. They're like, this is a photo from the last season the Sabres went to the playoffs. It was a game against the Thrashers.
Yeah.
They were playing against the Atlanta Thrashers.
Who led the scoring that year, Steve?
In, what was that, 2010, 2011?
Yeah.
Danny Briere.
Good answer, but not. I don't think he was on the team.
I don't remember. Oh, wait, no, he was a Flyer by then, wasn't he?
No, Daniel Briere was on
Was he?
there, wasn't he?
I don't see him on the list.
Daniel Briere. No, he wasn't. He was on the Flyers.
Current Sharks GM Mike Greer was on that team. Played 73 games. But the leading scorer was Thomas Vanek.
Oh, that makes sense. Was that his 40-plus goal year?
He had a 32 that year. And Drew Stafford had a 31.
Drew Stafford. They were so good at finding elite guys. Just guys.
Jochen Hecht and Paul Gostad. Those are guys I remember.
Brian Holzinger.
Just
guys.
a guy. Yeah.
Across generation guys.
Yep.
Just guys.
You know who else played for this team? This is a pull. Ottawa Senators great Patrick Lalime.
Patrick Lalime?
Patrick Lalime.
As a Sabre.
As a Sabre.
Oh, man, I can't picture it.
Ryan Miller was the starter. Jonas Enroth, also former Leaf. Was the backup.
Yes,
Does Steve know the player that was in Game 7 against the Flyers in 2011? That season, April 26th, when the Sabres lost their last playoff game. What's the one player who was on that team who's still in the league right now?
Holy cow.
That is a
The
good
fact
question.
that any of them.
I don't even think I
Now,
know
this
that.
isn't like an asterisk like he's a GM or a coach. He's a player.
He's playing on a team.
And this is on the Sabres.
Yeah.
Tyler Myers.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Hey,
Let's go.
Well done.
Okay, he was.
Tyler Myers is a current Dallas star.
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
He was 20.
20, because that's when I don't think it was this season, but they went through a little streak where they had the highest paid defenseman in the league 2 years running, and it was two different guys.
Yeah.
It was Tyler Myers 1 year and Christian Ehrhoff.
Oh gosh.
the
Yeah.
next.
Now here's another one.
Tyler Myers in that final game had 1 goal, 1 assist, played 24 minutes.
Early career Tyler Myers was insane.
He was a stud.
Yeah, he had 37 points that year.
Dude, he was very good.
Hey, so let me ask you guys this. Can either of you name this? Who is the goalie coach? Very interesting, notable name that most people have talked about many times for the last 15 years. Goalie coach for the Sabres that has had a very interesting, if I'm not mistaken, effect on analytics.
Oh my God, was it Jim Corsi?
Jim Corsi.
Wow.
He was still the goalie coach at the
guy
time?
who
Mr.
created
Corsi.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he was the goalie coach. Isn't
He's
that cool?
cousins with Alan Fenwick.
Yes, he is. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that's
And Jeff PDO.
Jeff PDO. That's I'd change my name. I'd go with Smith.
Now, it was named after him, but the originator was apparently some guy from like there's some financial background into this too. Like,
I used to know this.
Invent Corsi?
Deep in the lore, huh?
Did he or did he not
So
invent
Jim
Corsi?
Corsi was a former NHL goalie. So Corsi was actually created by Tim Barnes in the mid 2000s, who named it after Jim Corsi because he liked his name and specifically his mustache.
So he had nothing to do with the invention of Corsi.
Why Jim Corsi?
Are
Well,
you
looking
reading
for
this
an-
off Wikipedia?
Yeah. Is that wrong?
Yeah, that'd be correct.
Because the way I remember the story is either Jim Corsi or someone else came up with it to measure workload for a goalie because,
I'll read it.
okay, you read the
The Corsi
Wikipedia.
number was actually named by Tim Barnes, a financial analyst from Chicago working under the pseudonym Vic Ferrari.
Oh, yes.
He had heard former Buffalo Sabres general manager Darcy Regier talking about shot differential on the radio, and then proceeded to develop a formula to accurately display shot differential. Ferrari originally wanted to name it the Regier number, but he didn't think it sounded right. So then he reconsidered calling it he might have called it the Lindy Ruff number. By the way, Lindy Ruff was the head coach the last time the Sabres were in the playoffs.
Insane. Insane.
But he didn't think that was appropriate either. He ended up going searching up the Buffalo Sabres staff, found a picture of Jim Corsi, and chose his name because he liked his mustache.
Honestly,
There you go. Wow.
there you go.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah,
I like
Jim had
that.
nothing to do with it.
Nothing. He's just a guy.
He's just a figurehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thought behind workload is whenever a shot is coming at you, even if it doesn't hit the net, you're tensing up as a goalie. So to measure workload, he wanted to see how many shot attempts we're getting through.
Right.
Yeah, not necessarily on net.
Still, I got to say, pretty neat to have your name named after that, especially just because you grew a nice mustache. And the Buffalo Sabres are in. And you got to think about all the times that they thought that they were in. You look at the Buffalo Sabres throughout the years, and it's so interesting because when you look at their seasons, so the next year, so they were third in the division that year, and they made it to the playoffs, lost in the quarters. The next year they were third, but they didn't qualify. And then it starts to fall off. 5th, 8th, 8th, 7th, 8th, 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 6th, 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 8th, 5th, 5th, 6th, and then 7th last year. This is a team that has not done above 6th since 2011, 2012. And I think at one point too, I think it was 14, 15, they kind of thought that they were done with this rebuild thing. And if you look at some of the players that they signed, was that not the year that they signed like Matt Molson to that mega contract? And, there was definitely a year where they were like, okay, the rebuild's over. We're good. And it might've been 15, 16.
There were a
but it
few
was-
false starts.
And all the time, Sabres fans were like, this is our year. It's going to happen. And they went through, I think, 3 general managers in 3 years. Was it not Tim Murray? Was Pominville one of the guys?
The population of Pominville? Man,
It's been a real, it's been brutal.
he's the soundtrack for all those great Sabres memories too.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick Jenneret. I can't wrap my head around how long it's been.
Yeah, I think
really can't.
Also, I think Botterill, who's now the GM in Seattle, was the GM for a year in Buffalo as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah,
and
amongst,
go ahead, Jess.
amongst those dark years, we forget how many swings and misses there were with their draft picks, because tanking works if you are able to get the stars that build your franchise for
Right.
the rest of eternity. But they kept swinging and missing on some of those top picks, and either it was we didn't develop them correctly, we moved off of them too quickly, or it just wasn't the right guy. You think about Alex Nylander in 2016 going 8th overall. That's a swing and a miss.
To join Jack Eichel, those guys are going to be line mates forever.
Yeah.
They're going to haunt William up in
That's a swing and a miss. You think about Sam Reinhart not holding on to him.
Yeah.
Having Brandon Hagel as a draft pick.
Yeah.
And not holding on to him.
Man.
And there were so many opportunities along the way where this thing could have been done a little sooner, but eventually they started getting the correct picks where they take Darlene and then they take Dylan Cousins, who is not there anymore, but we'll talk about that on a different date. Jack Quinn, they take Owen Power. So they're finally starting to get the studs and things actually turn around. So it's a lesson in you need to tank, but you need to tank and then select the right guys.
Let me throw you some of these names from the 15-16 Sabres. A lot of names you're going to recognize. Ryan O'Reilly, 24 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Jack Eichel.
That's not a move you make when you think you suck.
Yeah.
You went out and you got Ryan O'Reilly.
And Jack Eichel, I think Ryan O'Reilly was the number 1 center that year. Ryan O'Reilly, or Jack Eichel will be number 2. This is his first season. Sam Reinhart, Rasmus Ristolainen, Evander Kane, the end of Brian Gianta's career.
Yep.
Bogosian, who's continued to play. Marcus Foligno, who's still playing. You had Matt Molson, but he was just, I think, injuries and stuff.
It's too much.
Gergensons, Cody Franzen, Jake McCabe, Tyler Ennis played for a long time after. Toronto radio great Carlo Koliakovo. Evan Rodriguez played 2 games for that team. The Evan Rodriguez.
Yep.
Linus Olmark. Like there have been Chad Ruhwedel, who was playing up at least until last year.
Evan Rodriguez, by the way, that signing, I remember what he was known as when he first came into the league. Jack Eichel's friend. They played together in college.
Oh.
And he got signed by the Sabres, and we're all like, meh, the guy probably sucks.
Boy, were we wrong.
Turns out he's had a pretty good career.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Chad Johnson, Robin Lehner, Linus Allmark were the 3 main goalies for that team too.
Wow.
Yeah, but you're reading
That's Jack Eichel's first.
you're reading the wrong team for why rebuilds are the right way to go, and they did it wrong.
And Jesse nailed it. You got to get the draft picks right.
You got to get the draft picks right, and they stripped it down so crazy bare bones that it wouldn't matter. You got to go 1 year in the past to when they were tanking for McDavid,
right,
and landed on Eichel. This is their last game of the 14-15 season, a 2-0 loss to the Pittsburgh Penguins. They had, don't move on me now, Zach Bogosian, Zach Dalpe, Nick Delorier, Matt Ellis, Tyler Ennis, Marcus Foligno, Brian Gianta, Mikhail Grigorenko, Cody Hodgson, who we played against in a charity tournament.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't let me win faceoffs, motherfucker.
Grigorenko, by the way, is the guy they took 12th overall.
12th.
That's something
overall.
that should have been a piece of your franchise.
Patrick Coletta, Johan Larsson, Andre Mazeros, Matt Molson, Rasmus Ristolainen, Chad Ruhwedel, Tyson Strachan.
I don't know who that human
Do not
Strawn.
recall.
Might be Strawn.
Don't recall. Phil Verone.
Al Strachan's kid?
Maybe. Possibly. I don't
Is he
know.
as happy as Al Strachan?
I doubt
Nobody
it.
is.
Nobody's
Nikita
happy than Al
Zadorov and Anders Lindback. Who remembers Anders Lindback in net?
I don't remember
No.
Anders Lindback.
He was poor.
How poor? You can't just say he was poor and then not give us the stats.
He was. Oh,
Give me the
I didn't even click it. You're supposed to just know.
on the Lindback. All right, that's what I need to know.
Anders Lindback. He was unplayable. But the stat won't even register to you because like even bad goalies back then were like pretty good. 15-16 was his last season. He had an 894. And actually that season when they were trying to tank, they should have played him less. Somehow 4-8-2, but with a 924 save percentage.
Whoa, come on.
There's your future in net. The next season was his last in the NHL.
I think I think too, like this is one of those times where it's such a monumental thing that I'd be like, hey, Steve, why don't you do like, instead of a wasted era like you do with the Leafs, like the lost era.
A wasted generation.
But the 100%, several. But I look at the Sabres thing and I go, that's almost too big. Like you'd need like 2 hours to really break it down.
At least. Well, because there are so many moments, like you said, where they almost got it back on track. And then it's, here's what went wrong. Ryan O'Reilly just doesn't feel like it anymore.
Yeah.
You know, but then, you know, some good things have happened along the way. Tage Thompson looked like a complete sunk cost.
Ryan O'Reilly trade.
It's crazy. Never in a million years did it ever look after, I don't know, 3 years like the Sabres would win that trade. Ever.
Because O'Reilly went on to win the Conn Smythe.
I mean, yeah, if you're a St. Louis Blues fan, you're like, he won the Conn Smythe.
We're okay.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
But that's one of the best goal scorers in the league, consistently year in and year out. And it just sort of clicked one day.
Oh, I'm good now.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm good. Here I go.
You know, one of the pieces they gave up to get Ryan O'Reilly was Nikita Zadorov.
I believe that.
Wow.
He was a Buffalo Sabres draft pick, and they sent him to get Ryan O'Reilly.
Wow.
They sent him to the Blues?
No, Colorado.
No, Colorado.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, Colorado had Nikita Zadorov for a while there after they acquired him in the Ryan O'Reilly trade.
So Colorado had Duchesne, McKinnon, and O'Reilly in their early 20s.
And
that's nutso.
Figured it out with very few of them? Or any
Traded
of them?
both of them. Hey, you know what's crazy? When you move guys, things can change.
Yeah, wow. Hey, wow.
What's that like?
Imagine that. No, but you know, a cornerstone of what's made this current group so good is drafting.
Mm-hmm.
They've drafted extremely well.
They have. And I think, and this is where, and again, we're not getting to the Leafs till later in the show, but this is where I understand why Kevin Adams' name is out there. And a couple of weeks ago, I was the one to say, maybe we owe him an apology for this, but that guy can't be a general manager again right away. No. You must work your way up. You must work your way up because a lot of shit went wrong. Like, we'll give you credit for where the team is now, and they did start the winning like 3 games left in your tenure.
I don't care.
But yeah.
The only way I'd be remotely interested is like, I think AGM's too high.
Pro scouting.
Sure.
AGM, I think, would be fine. You can work. You can be an AGM. Okay, so
well,
question.
as we've learned in Toronto, you know, AGM may not actually do anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Who has a higher rehirable score? Kevin Adams or Brad Treliving?
Sheesh.
Right now, I think it's going to be... Wow. I think Kevin Adams.
I also think...
But I think there are concerns about Kevin the guy. Because the things I'm hearing are that when he believes that you're someone on his level, it's one way. When he doesn't believe that you're someone on his level, it's another way. That's what I've heard.
Pick somebody to run your franchise tomorrow. Those are the only 2 options. Which one are you picking?
Oh, God. Well, first off, I'm a terrible owner then.
Yeah, wait.
Let's just
secret third option. I sell the team.
I'd rather run it myself.
Steve, you haven't weighed in.
Adam said it right there. I would sooner run the team myself.
But that's not one of the answers.
Okay,
I will
fine.
say that.
Okay.
Kevin Adams, because he has only wrecked 1 team in recent memory, and Treliving's wrecked 2.
Adam, what side are you on?
I'm going Brad, because at least Brad treats people well. I feel like you could surround Brad with the right pieces to get him to move off of certain things. Brad is good to everybody. And that is corporate culture. We're going to start there. Hey, at least in Brad's tenure, they built something that got to the second round on both teams that ultimately ended in ruin.
I would play the role
like the Flames got to the second round, so did the Leafs.
Yeah, but then he destroyed both franchises.
Yeah, but hey, he got there first. Kevin didn't do that.
I would play the role of Jim Rutherford. Like, hey, Kevin, with a Y, anytime you need to speak to the media, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. You should shut your face.
Yeah,
shut up.
You should not say anything.
Shut up.
Palm
trees. No one needed to ever know about palm trees.
Well, that's the thing, and I think that I have a deep affection for Brad Treliving, the person. I think I'm.
Me
colored
too.
by that. I
Me
really
too.
like him. So that's.
I like you, Adam. You shouldn't run the Leafs. I like you, man.
That's fair. That's fair. Now, so congrats to Buffalo Sabres fans. Obviously, it's going to be a race to the end, but I think the cherry on top of all this would be them winning the division.
It's so crazy. They could win the division or not have home ice in the first round.
Yeah, and I think we also need to have a conversation, maybe not today, but later. The Atlantic Division is still the best division in the sport.
Yep.
No question. Yep. Shut up about Colorado, Winnipeg, whatever, or not Winnipeg, Colorado, Dallas,
No,
Minnesota.
that's just your classic have and have, not division.
Yeah, this is it. That they're harvesting points. This division is the toughest division in the sport and has been for 10 years.
And I like that the Buffalo Sabres didn't do it backing into the playoffs and like sneaking into a wild card spot. They've been the best team in the league since December 2nd. They have more points than anybody else in the league. They're 35-12-4. They have run away with this thing since early December, and they've been the best team. And I think that's the best way for them to get in the playoffs here. It's not a fluke. It's not a joke. They are really good.
And they're fun. They're fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. They score goals
product.
like crazy. They get good goaltending when they need it.
There's
Play great
nothing.
defense.
There's nothing like that arena too when the Sabres are good. When it's fun, when it's loud, and people have forgotten. Like there are people that listen to this show, and we see them. Then they're like in their early 20s. They were like 5 years old the last time the Sabres were good. You've never experienced Buffalo loud.
Someone in the chat on Saturday for a Saturday stream was like, "Should Habs fans take over the building?" And I'm like, "You're not going to be able to.
You'd be lucky to buy a ticket."
The reason road fans were able to take over that building for so long is no one wanted the tickets because they sucked. People in Buffalo like hockey. You're going to have a hard time. You're going to it's their first appearance in the playoffs since 2011. You will pry those tickets from their cold, dead hands.
Yes.
No
Absolutely.
chance.
Absolutely. Congrats to the Buffalo Sabres. Shall we do the BetMGM big story? BetMGM is an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League and has everything to do with the action on the ice. Hockey fans in Canada, place your live bets, create some parlays, take some props. And we got props today, right, Jesse?
Not props.
Well, is it
Futures.
Futures. Excuse me. Excuse me. So this is Hart Trophy?
Hart Memorial Trophy winner is the official designation. Who you guys got? It's a 2-horse race. It's Nathan MacKinnon against Nikita Kucherov. The odds are pretty close. McKinnon's just under 2-1, 1.91, and then Kucherov is just over 2-1, 2.2.
Are we or aren't we counting the Olympics?
Here's the question. Macklin Celebrini's odds.
11-1.
11-1. Because, okay, here's the thing. If they, in the next week, sneak in, he's going to get a massive bump. And I guarantee you his odds won't be 11-1.
No, but I don't think he wins.
I don't think he wins either. I don't think he can. I think it's going to be Kucherov. And the reason I say I would take Kucherov is the Lightning are older and more beat up. And they were an elite regular season team last year, and then they got stomped in the playoffs by Florida. I think that they're better this year than they were last year, and they were elite last year. Like this is, to me, Tampa seems like a team poised for a deep run again.
Oh, 100%. But I think you're forgetting a factor here in voting. People got to like you. and the Avalanche have been exactly what you described with Tampa, but all season long.
Yes, they have.
All from day one of the season. So I give it to McKinnon. Kucherov deserves it too, but he's got to do himself some favors. I also don't think he cares.
No, I think he cares about the cup, and that's about it.
I don't think either of those men care.
Does it matter to either of you individuals that Connor McDavid currently leads the NHL in points?
No, I think this is a year where, I mean, I bet if you objectively like looked at the stats, because I'm pretty sure there was one. It was like Celebrini and McDavid close to the same amount of games. If they don't score, their team doesn't win. But I think it's like, how many years can you give it to Connor? Like people do that, right?
There's
like,
also voter fatigue.
The voter, that's what I'm saying, 100%. Right?
I
think it's
that.
it
Because
sucks.
It's supposed to be each year is what you are judging it on. And I think because of the team success, the lack of team success that Edmonton has had throughout the year, you knock a couple of points off of McDavid. But then
he doesn't have Draisaitl for a month.
He's still the best player.
And they're winning.
And they're winning right now.
This would not be the first time Nathan MacKinnon won the Hart Trophy in a season where McDavid was not even nominated, and it was bullshit.
Yeah. The Celebrini thing with him having all the wins when he gets points, based on the definition of the trophy, which is not like the best player in the league, it's which player is most valuable to their team. It's how they define the Hart Trophy. Celebrini has a really good case for being that person.
And I think it's bullshit that we grade these guys on whether they made the playoffs or not, if that's the definition of the trophy. Because the trophy is, hey, it's not most important player to your team if they make the playoffs.
Right.
The and that's why I think the 2017, no disrespect to Taylor Hall, I still am
that was
about
Hall.
that.
I keep saying McKinnon won it.
McDavid should have won. He was unbelievable that year, and he was on an awful team. And people are like, well, you can't give it to him. He didn't make the playoffs. I'm like, what is he supposed to do?
And, McDavid's team hasn't had much success. Celebrini.
But
Celebrini's team has done worse.
By that definition, it's Celebrini's going to walk, but it should
matters, the playoffs thing, because that shows how much that player contributed to the success of the team. Right. There's a bar there, and it's like, are you in the playoffs? Are you not? This player's play contributed to the team so much that they made the playoffs.
Well, guys, you're both wrong. The correct answer is Chris Tanev.
Yeah, the Leafs fell off a cliff without
Chris Tanev. Should be winning the Hart Trophy this year because look where they are without him.
What are the odds again? Just for people wanting to know.
1.91 for Nathan MacKinnon, 2.2 for Kucherov. Celebrini is 11-1. McDavid 16-1.
Wow.
I like Celebrini as a what if the Sharks win every game this week, make the playoffs.
I think they're onto something.
Yeah.
It's an outside, but you got to try. The BetMGM app is improved, by the way. It's got instant withdrawals, data insights, brand new rewards hubs. Download the BetMGM app today, and it's betmgm.com for terms and conditions. 19 plus to wager, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or somebody close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. And BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. The Islanders have but 4 games, and they have a new head coach. And Matthew Darche has seen them sort of languish over the last 10. They're 3-7-0 in their last 10 games. This is a team that was squarely in the playoffs a month ago and is squarely out of it this morning. And Patrick Waugh is out. Pete DeBoer is in.
Why are they out of it? Who knocked them out?
Who knocked them out?
Who knocked them out of the playoff spot?
You answer the question, Steve.
It was the Philadelphia Flyers.
That's right.
You two owe an apology.
No.
The Flyers fans for being doubters.
No.
There's
buddy, Flyers.
There's 5 good teams in the East.
Wow.
And I was getting, by the way,
they're one of them.
All of my doubting was coming from Flyers fans. I was watching what they were saying about the team. You're looking at me going, oh, you didn't believe. You didn't believe. I know. I saw your tweets. We'll dig them up. They're still out there. Mm. People were complaining, and Rick Tockett's calling Matt Bay fat, and we can't do this, and Tockett sucks, and you got to fire him.
You've been on that for so long.
Dude, they've been on that for so long.
I'm not the one writing about it. And they're like attacking Kevin Kerr's like, you're an asshole for saying that.
Hey. They're in a spot.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah,
good for them. They almost, they could have sold at the deadline, right?
They could have.
Didn't. But it's fun. And we're setting ourselves up here, gentlemen, for something that I'm very excited for. A all Pennsylvania showdown, which we have been robbed of for the last 15 years.
2012 was absolutely unhinged, and I need that in my veins.
If this is Crosby's last 1 or 2 goes with Malkin in the playoffs, fitting that the first round would be against the Philadelphia Flyers. And I don't know, because there's no Claude Giroux in this series, which is sort of a bummer.
Yes.
But I do feel like there are there's some nasty players on the Philadelphia Flyers that the Penguins could hate, and there's some Penguins that the Flyers could hate, right?
Oh, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They'll find a way. They'll figure it out for sure.
The question I have for you guys is this sustainable? Can the Flyers hold this? I mean, it's 77 games they've played. They got 5 more to go, and every night that changes. The Islanders are a point behind them, and we'll talk about them because that's how the segment started. We're supposed to talk about them.
Right.
I was about to ask.
They have 89 and 78. The Flyers have 90 and 77.
It all comes down to what the hell kind of magic can you harness over this week? What did I say about Vegas? They're either going to go 0-8 or 8-0. They're 3-0, and a 3 looks like an 8 if you squint. Mm-hmm. They're on their way, right? The new coach bump has worked in Vegas. Any question about their playoff spot appears to be answered. Islanders are in a far more precarious spot.
So the Islanders have to play this.
One thought on the Flyers.
Sure.
If we were doing that. My only hiccup with them is they still can't score goals. It's since February, since the Olympic break, they're the second best team in the league. They only trail the Buffalo Sabres in total points accumulated. They're 14-6-1. Wow. In that span, their goals against is second in the league. They've only allowed 2.38 goals against per game, which is fantastic. Oh my God. 2.38 goals against per game. But their goals for, despite being the second best team in the league, sits at 26th in the league. They only scored 2.71 goals for per game. Despite winning all of these games, they still can't put the puck in the back of the net.
Don't have to.
And they haven't had to.
As we've always said, the Philadelphia Flyers have elite goaltending.
They have elite defense.
They do.
Team defense, fantastic. Goaltending has been there, clearly. I just wonder when they reach the playoffs and this thing where they can't score goals goes up against a better team, a consistent opponent night after night, if that will cause them to be eliminated in the first round.
Hockey's not a goal scoring contest, though.
It's
what
not.
are we sad about here?
Adam, I'm just so disappointed.
Why?
Well, because I consider myself to be a wine guy. I like wine. Jesse, you like wine?
Wine's okay.
Yeah, I like a good Cab Sauv. What's your favorite kind?
Cab Sauv is good. Yeah.
I thought maybe though you were a bit more of a porter man. Porter Martone has arrived, and he's come to do 3 things: chew bubblegum, score goals, and piss refs off. And he's all out of bubblegum.
He scored his first goal in overtime.
Look at him go.
The Flyers.
There's your goal scoring savior.
Also still sucks. It's 30th in the league in that span since the Olympic break.
No. But their struggles are port over.
Their numbers don't back up a really good team there. It's just they play great defense and have not allowed any goals.
Oh,
the offensive side of it is still dead.
Look at the standings. Those numbers back it up.
They're in a playoff.
I think it.
No, you're totally right.
It also speaks to the fact that the Metro isn't the strongest division, and I think it's exciting division. It's a very exciting division, but like. And I say this as a Leaf fan who is an objectively terrible team. I always have to say that beforehand to remind people that I'm aware my team sucks. But like, it is of the divisions in the sport, it's the third hardest.
And whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh, it's exciting.
Sure. Now,
but they're able to get in with numbers like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I'm happy for Flyers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. This doesn't mean I'm not happy that your team is in. I just think that if I'm making my bracket,
you just think Matvey's fat, right? That's what you think.
That's exactly.
Wow,
what I think.
What a dick!
Well, look in recent memory. The reason I bring up Porter Martone in recent memory, off the top of my head, Cole Caulfield joins a very ho-hum Montreal Canadiens team. They were barely worthy of playoff recognition, and then he comes in and he's part of one of the greatest comebacks in franchise history and instrumental in it. Much less high end, but incredibly impactful in 2023 was Matthew Nyes for the Leafs. They don't win that series against Tampa without him.
Oh, yeah.
He was incredible. So
he loves playing at Amalie.
Loves playing at Amalie. So Porter Martone coming in, if he can find a way to be somewhere in between Nyes and Caulfield as a new player injecting adrenaline into a roster, I think the Flyers will be just fine. Just fine.
I think too, when you inject a player like that, it reminds me of Matthew Nyes in 2023. They just don't even know what they don't know. And they're just out there going, right. You know, and he just had a great year at the Big Ten. I think it was 50 points in 35
What
games.
A whirlwind. Like, he was feeling great all season. the most heartbreaking, crushing loss of his life. And then, all right, you're in the Stanley Cup playoffs.
That's Matthew Nice too.
Yeah.
He came off of a. That's why he does so
That's
well.
what
in
I'm saying.
MLS.
That's what he was talking
that's what you
about.
say. Oh,
Yeah.
So
Gosh darn it.
Sorry. Now,
I don't know.
I have a question. Flyers make the playoffs.
Is it? Does this remind you of Matthew Nice?
It does. There's some nice equivalents. Should we go through them?
Yeah, we should.
No, I was just gearing up the next one. I apologize.
That's okay.
How many, and I'm not saying he wins, okay? Differentiation factor. Flyers make it in. What place does Rick Tocchet come in Jack Adams voting? Now, I'm saying third.
Third.
Because if they make it in, I don't think he wins because they didn't have the greatest season on the whole. And there are some runaway favorites, I think, in that spot.
Lindy Ruff is my one.
It has to be.
That's my vote number one.
The Rick bonus train is falling right
It's
off.
fizzling.
The
What
tracks.
about Dan Muse? I put number 2.
Dan Muse.
That's a good one.
I just don't. I don't think he's nominated, but he'll get votes.
Talk isn't nominated, you think?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, the bonus thing really screws it up. When are we just going to get over ourselves and give it to Cooper?
No,
I agree
for
with you.
what?
You know what I mean?
Cooper doesn't make my ballot.
And if he didn't win for the 62 game season, then he's never going to
doing?
win. He's just never going to win.
Oh,
it.
I got 42 Hall of Famers. We've been good for a decade. Now all of a sudden we're gonna get a trophy when I might lose the division.
If-
Like, what are we doing?
If
John
we
Cooper?
go by we thought you were going to suck and you're actually okay.
that's the award.
If we go by that, in no particular order, it's Tocchet, Ruff, Muse. Gotta be.
I think those are your three. Rick Bonus, if they make the playoffs, gets into that top three, and you probably kick out Tocchet. But if they don't make the playoffs, then I think you got the three.
Yeah. So in the Hart Trophy segment we just did for the BetMGM Big Story, I said, I don't like the playoffs thing because blah, blah, blah. I think when it comes to coaching, it matters.
Yeah.
Right? People are going to be like, oh, well, you said it didn't matter with the Hart. I'm like, no. It does with the Jack Adams. So if Bonus does not make the playoffs with the Columbus Blue Jackets, as surprising and fun as that run has been, to me, I would take a coach that's even coached a full year over a guy that's had a hot January,
right.
2 weeks, a week and a half in February, and a good March too. Like I think you have to remember that Rick Bonus took over in mid-Jan, right? These guys have been the whole year. Dan Muse, I think, should win it if Lindy Ruff's not in the picture. The thing about the reason that what will hold Dan Muse back, I think, is that he has Sidney Crosby, and
He didn't.
for part of it, but the Sabres don't have a generational Mount Rushmore best player of all eras type player on the roster currently.
The Penguins are full. If we look back at how we looked at these guys at the beginning of the season, they're full of projects.
They are.
And he's nailed all of them.
Well, and that's because Kyle Dubas has nailed all of them.
That's right.
Brought in the right guys.
Chinnikov. Oh, man. Mantha, he finally arrived. He's like 30, right?
We knew it.
There he is. Got him. Friggin', he's resurrected Erik Karlsson. Stuart Skinner. Now, I don't know how much of that is coaching, but
hey, I think you got to give some of it to him. And I don't know.
Skinner was a dump in a Tristan Jarry trade. Do you understand? Do you all understand? And look what he's been.
Yeah.
Right? I'm sure you could keep going. Ben Kindle should not be in the NHL right now, based on everything we know about, what was he, 12th overall? No, that doesn't happen. Dan Muse, baby.
Yeah, that's what I think you got the three guys there if Bonus doesn't make the playoffs.
So if Tocchett's in, you think he goes third too?
Yeah, because all the points I'm making against why the Flyers, I don't think, have it in them to go on like a deep playoff run are points in favor of Rick Tocchet winning a Jack Adams. If all of a sudden Dan Vladar looks amazing and you're giving up no goals per game, even though you're not scoring anything, you're winning a bunch of games, that's on coaching and strategy and team defense. And that to me goes to the head coach and his assistants. And I think Tocchet should be in the Jack Adams conversation if they get into the playoffs. He's done a fantastic job there and the numbers back it up.
Yep, I agree. Now, Patrick Waugh, which is where we started the segment, Patrick Waugh is out on the island. He is no longer the head coach, and
Multiple years remaining.
This was I guess it was not the full second year. This would have been his full second year because he took over midway through the 23-24 season, if you remember. Lou Lamoriello brought him in because he wanted a coach that was on his second run because usually he did the research, and I guess coaches that are on their second run are more likely to win the cup.
Sure.
No coach except for Scotty Bowman has won a cup in 2 different places. And the Islanders did go to the playoffs in 23-24. They lost in the first round. They were out last year. And then this year they bought at the trade deadline and have been floundering ever since. And you're talking about not small buys. I mean, Soucy's one thing, but Braden Shen costs a lot.
Yeah, Braden Shen, you can get over it because you have him for multiple years, but he's at an age where he's probably better now than he will be next year.
And I wonder about, Matthew Darche has had a pretty damn good first year, and obviously Matt Schaefer broke another record. He now has the most points ever by an 18-year-old defenseman. That includes the 80s.
He's playing 25 minutes a night.
Well,
stupid.
Sometimes it's 31. And I wonder, I'm like, I know Patrick Waugh really trusted him, but is that good coaching?
Playing your best players a lot.
32 minutes a night, not in the playoffs?
It's maybe not great. It's maybe playing the wheels off a guy, but also he's special.
He is. And he's 18. So 18-year-olds can go.
Is he tired? I don't think he's tired.
Probably not.
He doesn't look it.
What do you think? I don't think anybody going in this weekend would have called this, though. It wasn't like anybody thought, Patrick Waugh's seat right now is hot. And the Islanders had to reach out to the Dallas Stars to ask for permission to speak to Pete because he's on his last year of his deal. So they had to call and say, are you cool with this? And it's funny, they're doing their press conference right now, and Darche is acting like, Pete DeBoer is like a first-time free agent. Everybody's like, well, he was fired last June, but he was under contract. So you do have to call and ask for permission. And he's like, if a guy like Pete DeBoer is out there, it won't be for long. And it's 8 months, but whatever.
If you've already made a Patrick Waugh decision and you're worried that a really good coach is about to be taken off the market, you make your move now. Absolutely, you make your move now. The Leafs hired this outside firm to ask, who should we be going after in terms of executives? But if they expand that to coaches, they're going to look at the guy with 1 billion wins and a lot of playoff success in Pete DeBoer. How long was he really going to? I cannot believe he was still on the market.
Yeah, I can't either.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe he went almost a full year.
Well, I have a hard time believing that. A couple factors there. First off, he is under contract. I think other teams probably called Dallas asking for permission. They would have gotten it.
Maybe.
But beyond that, the way he went out wasn't good.
No.
He trashed the goalie on the way out. And this is not the first time, as we well know, that he's targeted a goalie unfairly on a very successful team.
And then the guy, he's still doing it.
Patrick Waugh's
out of a job. He's still doing it.
Man, Pete
you
DeBoer
son of a gun.
just keeps beating up on these goalies.
Pete, do you want to coach this team? No. Wait. Who's the head coach?
Former goalie.
You son of a gun. Take that sword out of Pat's back. No, I can't believe he was still available. This is sort of like the Braden Shen deal. Sure, it might make sense now, but it makes sense going forward.
This is a long-term play.
Yeah.
Jesse, Pete DeBoer is a guy that regularly gets his team to the third round and sometimes never further, which is why he inevitably, weirdly gets fired by really good teams. But every team that he coaches turns out to be really good. What does he bring to the Islanders that makes sense in your mind?
A lot of what's going on right now, I think, is the Islanders regressing to what we kind of thought they were early on. They were running, they were getting a little bit of luck in terms of them winning games, and their shooting percentage has regressed like crazy. They're getting a ton of shots on goal, and none of them are going in. So you bring in the new head coach, and you hope that the team is now going to fight a little bit more to get a little more high quality shots on goal. If we can inject some, energy into the offense to just, hey, I know we're getting the shots. Let's not settle for the things on the outside edges. Let's actually compete to get into the dirtier areas or just a little more high danger shots. And Pete DeBoer, who's a very smart hockey mind, I think can figure out that type of strategy because they needed a new look.
Yeah.
Whatever they've been doing currently has not been working. Since March 2nd, I believe. They have less points than the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Whoa.
They have
Holy
they have a
Toledo.
worse record
bad.
than the Toronto Maple Leafs. Yeah, that's from March 2nd onwards. They are 7-10-0, and the Leafs in that span are 5-7-5.
Jesse, funny you should say that. Guess who Pete DeBoer's first game is against?
No way, Dallas.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
Oh yeah,
In the second half of a back-to-back.
Second half of a back-to-back, your standard 6:45 p.m. start for some reason. Dude, 6:45, then 1 p.m. against Ottawa, then 6 p.m. against Montreal, and then finally a 7 o'clock
they
game
don't
against Carolina.
play until they play the Leafs?
Yeah, they have 4 days off right now. So
The Leafs have a light week, too.
this was the window.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so when did they fired him yesterday, right? So
Yeah.
they fired him Easter Sunday, St. Patrick, and he has 3 days now to get acquainted with the team
my
and
goodness.
kick the Leafs' ass.
Yeah, I didn't realize they had that much time off. It's
All-
weird at this point in the season to have
All
that much time
home
off.
games. All home
Okay.
games, by the way. So if you were going to do something this unhinged, this is the pocket.
And the Matthew Darce thing is important because he didn't hire Patrick Waugh. This wasn't his guy, and he saw an opportunity to go get the guy he's going to make his guy after this season. Do it now so he doesn't get hired by somebody.
Yeah.
You know? So he took away the competition, gave him the 4-year deal, said, I'm not going to compete with everybody else trying to give Pete DeBoer this long-term deal. I'm going to do it right now and beat everybody to it. And I think it was pretty smart.
Part of me wonders, too, if there was somebody in on Pete.
I thought 100%.
I think something spurred this.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is why, bless the Vegas Golden Knights, it is a copycat league, which generally leads to a complete lack of creativity.
By the way, there's not a single person in the hockey world except for Golden Knights fans that would say bless the Vegas.
I know. Yeah, I don't feel that way either, but they're crazy.
They're crazy.
They're crazy people and they do crazy people things. Bruce Cassidy for John Tortorella with less than 10 games to go. That's a crazy person thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
They did it. And remember, I was like, when was the last time this happened? This doesn't happen. Who does this? And it took a week, maybe less, for another team to do it.
This one to me was more shocking than the Golden Knights one. Because at least there's kind of like whispers and like, this thing isn't working at all. We need to move on and try something.
We
This
weren't
one-
doing entire segments on how the Islanders were being misplaying players.
Exactly.
You know, like-
The Vegas, at least we were complaining about some of the lineup decisions and how they were playing.
What I will say is maybe we should have been, like based on the stat that you said.
Oh yeah. There's been problems for a month and a half here on the island, but seems like something you're still fighting for the playoff spot. Maybe you get in, maybe you don't, and then you make your decision, which I think Matthew Darce was going to.
Yeah.
But he did the bold thing, which I think more general managers need to be, and he made the call right now. And who knows if they get in now?
Thank goodness. Thank goodness. More unhinged decisions.
Yeah.
I think too, a general manager should know that early on in their tenure, they will have more power than later. Unless you win the cup. Then you've got all the power. But when you're early on in your tenure as a general manager, that's when you are at your strongest. And so you need to if you're going to make the move, you make the move early.
You didn't hire me because you were satisfied.
Exactly. But 3 years in, it's like, are we going to fire the coach or are we firing you?
Yeah.
You start managing for your job.
Yes.
Instead of like to win, you're trying to manage not to lose your job, I should say.
Yeah.
What's
And-
Brandon Carlo doing these days?
And for anybody that doesn't know, Matthew Darce was the assistant general manager to Julian Breezewa for years in Tampa. That's why he has so much heft, and I think has given the Islanders organization a whole fresh look. I'm excited I'm interested in Sorokin because up until that month ago streak or whatever that you said where they have was it March 2nd?
March 2nd, yeah.
They have less points than the Leafs. Sorokin, first off, has been good ever since.
29th best team in the league since March 2nd.
That's
7-10.
And so much of that is Sorokin, right? There's a reason why if you go to the BetMGM odds, he is the second in the Vezina conversation, right? The guy's been unbelievable, not really talked about outside of it, but you waste a season like that from a player like that. He was always a good goalie, but if you waste that, that's going to be a real shame. Forget the draft picks that you traded or the prospects or whatever. You waste a Sorokin season like this and don't make the playoffs. I think the Islanders, if they do get in, are going to be a huge pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to win, especially if they come in and they got to play Carolina. Carolina's, as we know, they always get through the first, probably the second round.
Last time they played I picked the Islanders and I look stupid. So
Yeah.
I'm not doing it again.
But I do think, I'd love to see a Rod versus Pete first round. That'd be Carolina versus New York. That'd be
but
great.
the way the playoff picture in the East is set up, you're gearing for third in the Metro, not a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I mean, Steve, yes and no, because the Senators, with a game in hand, admittedly, are only a point up with them this morning.
You could knock them out.
For sure.
You could, but if you were to go back 24 hours,
Yep.
that's where you were, right? You were third in the Atlantic.
Yep.
Nope, Metro.
Now, the Islanders, as you mentioned, are going to play the Leafs on the second half of a back-to-back on Thursday. They got to win that game. And also, I'm asking you, Islanders, please win that fucking game.
Yes.
Because we're going to talk about how the Leafs are fucking this up again.
I can't decide.
Then they got to play the Senators on Saturday. That is going to be game of the week territory. They are right there.
Oh, it could be for a playoff spot.
Should be
Yeah.
for both teams. The Senators went 1-1 this weekend. They lost to the Wild. They beat the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then they play the Canadians, which is not necessarily playoff implications, but the Canadians will be fighting for home ice advantage. So that'll still matter, but I still think it'll matter more to the Islanders.
Yeah.
And then last game of the season could be against their first round opponent, the Carolina Hurricanes. So they have just the 4 games. What can Pete DeBoer even do with this team in 4 games, guys? Like, what do you do?
Figure out what's wrong with where their heads are at and fix it. I don't know how much systematically you're going to be able to fix, right? This is not the kind of decision Matthew Darche makes just to shake things up. Same with John Tortorella, by the way. You would have to talk to them. You would have to have this question answered. Hey, if I were to hire you, what the hell are you going to do? And if I'm Pete DeBoer or if I'm John Tortorella, I need to know information about this team.
You just get the helium out and start pumping them up with it? Like
100%. Like what's going on? What's wrong? Now, John Tortorella, I think, is a guy you can rally around in pockets. Pete DeBoer is interesting. John Tortorella,
known to grade on players.
yeah,
Like Torts has people that will die for him. I've never heard that about Pete DeBoer.
no,
Never once.
But the standard is Patrick Waugh,
Yes.
who is
Grades on players and everyone else around him all the time.
probably 32 out of 32 in terms of just crotchety dudes in coaching positions right now. You got to figure out where their heads are at, and you got to fix that Ricky tick.
Yeah. Now, let's look at the Flyers, guys, because I still think this matters, right? The Flyers took the spot from the Islanders. Flyers are going to play the Devils tomorrow night. They should win that game.
Devils are sneaky hot.
They are, but they should win that game.
Yep.
Flyers Red Wings on Thursday. That is going to be and we're getting to the Red Wings next.
Okay, good.
They
Don't you
deserve
worry.
their own segment.
We'll be chatting about the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets next. That's a big game.
Uh-huh.
Flyers Jets on Saturday. Jets are sneaky hot, but
Yeah.
in the West.
Somehow still in it.
And then you've got the Canes on next Monday, April 13, and then they're finishing it off with a back-to-back against the Canadians on the 14th.
See, those are 2 games where both your opponents might lay down. Might not, but
You probably want to win 2 of the next 3 to make sure, don't you?
definitely. But what I'm saying is, like, what'll be the priority for the Hurricanes and for the Habs is probably just get into the playoffs healthy.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, listen, let's talk about razors and let's talk about how they're crazy overpriced
Yes.
and not particularly well made in a lot of instances. It's kind of like it just feels sometimes like a scam. And one place that we feel like, hey, we're not getting scammed. We all have different facial hair. Steve, for years, claimed he could not grow a beard. Now, look at that.
Now I got one. And the reason I don't have a neck beard is because this morning,
Because of Harry's.
because of Harry's.
That's right.
got in there.
Now,
You look great.
Jesse's got
I know.
a little bit more of a neck beard, but not too much.
Oh, wow, Adam.
No,
Wow.
like, yours goes further back.
Maybe I need to use my Harry's razor a little bit more.
No, that's because Jesse has like a jawline and I don't.
Steve, would you take a Harry's foaming shaving gel pie to the face in the name of this ad?
Yes.
When?
What? Okay,
Right now?
I will prepare it for Wednesday.
Right? Oh,
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Steve said yes. I don't know why you said yes. You didn't have to do it, but you did it. Yay.
Now, how's this for a flex? Harry's owns their own world-class blade factory in Germany. No outsourcing, no middlemen. Why pay $30 for refills when Harry gives you better blades for a fraction of that? Harry's just launched their most advanced razor ever, and it's still cheaper than the Gillette Fusion 5. So, we want you to try it. For a limited time, our listeners can get Harry's Plus trial sets for $10 at harrys.com/STP. This set includes the all-new Harry's Plus razor, one refined 5-blade cartridge, a 2-ounce foaming shave gel, show it off, Jesse, and a travel cover to protect all your blades on the go. Just go to harrys.com/STP to claim this offer. And after the purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them it was the Steve Dangle Podcast.
Steve just shot shaving gel all over the room.
Excellent work. Now, if you guys are okay, I'd like to move on to the Detroit Red Wings.
absolutely.
So the Red Wings their disastrous march has continued. They lost again yesterday, this time to the Minnesota Wild, who won 2 games over the weekend, one against the Senators, one against the Red Wings. So the Minnesota Wild are single-handedly fucking up the Atlantic Division.
One of the least justifiable ends to a hockey game this season.
Now, that is Patrick Kane's penalty, right? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, you were skipping over.
Okay, give it to me.
Minnesota's up 4-1. They're killing them. And the Red Wings have been killed a few times recently. You can't let this happen. Minnesota's fighting for home ice. You're fighting for a playoff spot. You need to be the more desperate team. You get 1. Oh. You get 2. Oh. You get 3, you tie it, and it's Patrick Kane. Veteran, emotional leader.
Best American player ever.
Essentially a living
Legend.
museum of hockey.
Yep.
And he takes the dumbest hooking call I've ever seen in my entire life on Quinn Hughes with like 2 minutes left or something. For the purpose of what? I'm still trying to figure that out. That's the kind of thing where you kick someone off your EASHL team if they do it in a video game. And he did it in real life. Don't understand why. Wild get a power play. Now, you could always kill it.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't.
Yeah, might as well not take the penalty. I'll show you 2 angles here. Here's the full ice view. You can see Patrick Kane up there and Quinn Hughes up there. Puck is all the way down here. And you'll see Patrick Kane just decide, hey, I'm going to trip Quinn Hughes for no reason coming up right here.
Oh, no.
And you have the puck.
There you go. So this was immediately after, the Red Wings had tied it up 4-4 in the miraculous comeback.
Oh, man.
And he trips him there. And then let me show you.
Do you understand? You could lose this game in overtime.
And still benefit.
And at least you get the point.
Yep.
This causes you get nothing out of a 3-goal comeback.
So you saw the full ice view now. Here is the up close one where you can really see him
No reason.
just do this for absolutely no reason. Just
No
to
reason for it.
Just to try and stop Quinn getting back into the play on the other side after he's circling back to go charge up the ice. He just decides to take him down, and that cost them the game.
I don't understand. And isn't Kane supposed to be going off right now?
Yeah,
He's going for a change. Yeah.
Oh my God. What
Turns
are you
around,
doing?
he sees him. He's like,
Can
I'm going to take him
openers.
down.
What are you doing? I don't understand what was going through his head. I don't.
But that's just one of the issues on a month's worth of issues for the Detroit Red Wings.
I mean, like the issue is you were down 4-1.
Yes.
You made up for it.
Yep.
Yeah, but
like you tied the game. Oh,
the problems in Detroit run deep. And now you got to get into the point where you're talking about the entire roster construction, which is Steve Yzerman, but the players there too, and the guys you have and their ability to not rise to the moment. And I think this comment from Todd McClellan, which happened last Saturday, which talked about their competitiveness, is the underlying theme of this entire era of Detroit Red Wings hockey. When things get tough, they're not able to fight through it. And when they need to rise to the occasion, they don't do it. So here's what he said last Saturday after their loss.
Last game from the other night, I had said that the brain and the legs and the will all have to go together. If you're only using one and not the other, it doesn't work. And how do we fix it? Well, we address some of it in the video today, which is what we do even when we're playing really well. And then we put it into play in practice, and that's all fine and dandy, but we're going into April, and video and practice should just be polishing things up, and away you go. You shouldn't be trying to extract competitiveness or heaviness out of the players at this time. So, but we are, and we're capable of providing it, and we'll get a chance to do that starting tomorrow night.
He's still in the middle of a playoff battle trying to extract competitiveness from his players.
Was that after the Rangers loss?
Yeah, that was last weekend. So that to me is the biggest indictment on this era of Red Wings hockey.
The Rangers,
and why every month every year you look at the March standings and their record, and it's poor.
I will say the Rangers have decided, what if we were the 79 Habs for a week?
Yeah. Yeah, they had a weird weekend, didn't they?
Like, just insane.
Yeah.
But I said this, boys. I said this after the Olympic break or after the trade deadline. Traditionally, it's after the trade deadline. The standard of play goes up. It goes up. You can park the bus in a game, maybe. Mm-hmm. Still a lot of people who don't think that's a good idea. You can park the bus in a game, maybe. You cannot park the bus in an NHL season. They went from, hey, this is a pretty good start, to, hey, they might make the playoffs, to they're going to make the playoffs. And I'm stunned that they fumbled the bag.
Not yet, though.
Not yet.
Over. It is not over.
It's not, but their fans are talking like it is.
Well, and
right?
you can't. You can't.
Here's the game. They could still easily make it.
And I will not listen. It's no secret that for the last 3 years in each of our season previews, and Detroit fans have given me shit about it every single year, especially in 22-23 when they started hot, or 23-24, whatever it was. And then this year,
first year of Justin Hall,
when they started hot this year as well. I'm not a fan of a lot of how that roster is constructed. I think they've got some incredible high-end pieces, right? And I don't think anybody can take away from that.
Raymond is
Seider and Edmondson
somehow underrated.
Yes.
So is Seider. So is Larkin.
Tomorrow's game,
yeah.
And I will say this for the next team we're going to talk about because they're playing each other, is against the Blue Jackets. Oh. This is the game of the season.
And yet, it could either be the game of the season or a game that someone wins because someone has to.
I don't know. It's not the West, though.
No, but
what do you mean by that?
They've both just been screwing up. And it's funny. This is going to be a vibe shift potentially for one of them, just because it has to be. It has to be. The Blue Jackets, they're both losing games in mystifying ways, and that can't be attributed to anything other than the yips.
Can I tell you how identical they are?
Show me.
So the Wings, 77 games, 88 points. Blue Jackets, 77 games, 88 points. The Wings have 29 regulation wins. Blue Jackets, 27. Goal differential is an interesting one. -9 for Detroit on the season, +3 for Columbus on the season. In their last 10, they have almost identical records. 4-6-0 for the Detroit Red Wings, 3-6-1 for the Blue Jackets.
Man.
You're absolutely right. It will be a vibe shift. But on their heels, no one's talking about it, but the Timothy Liljegren-led Washington Capitals, now they have played an extra game, 87 points.
They really looked poised for a miracle run, and then the Rangers killed, disemboweled them.
But they are still there.
They're there. It could just be one game. This could just be one bad streak for Detroit. This could just be one bad streak for the Blue Jackets. Yeah, the Blue Jackets got to where they are because they basically didn't lose for several months.
Yep.
Which was never, that doesn't happen.
Can't plan for that.
No.
They went 2019 Blues for a while there.
Right. But you have to know what you are when the going gets tough. So, and what both teams have found out recently is not much.
Not much.
The Washington Capitals. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this is a monumental game for both teams, but someone's going to win, someone's going to lose, and then you're going to have to move on to what's next because it's not enough.
Yeah. The Washington Capitals, just to point out how close they are to actually being a good team this year, they're 2-6 in the shootout. Flip 3 shootout goals this year, and you say those 3 shootout goals go in the back of the net or they're saved. They're in a playoff spot. They're third in the Metro if they convert on 3 of those 6 shootout losses.
That's crazy.
That's why when people are like, it's just October, the games don't matter that much.
Oh my
I'm like,
goodness,
you are dumb.
Every game matters.
It does
Every
matter.
game matters
Oh,
for
it's
sure.
early. It gets late early.
Blue Jackets would be comfortably in a playoff spot if they weren't simply last place in the East
Exactly.
and then fired their coach.
So
But they were, right? So,
Blue Jackets, Red Wings tomorrow night. Flyers, Red Wings Thursday.
oh,
New Jersey Red Wings April 11th, which is Saturday. Next Monday, Red Wings Lightning, and I think the Lightning might take that game off. We're not sure. Red Wings,
or it's a first round preview.
or it's a first round preview. Could be, but even so, do the Lightning care? Unless they've got the Atlantic Division locked up. Unless home ice advantage is at issue for the Lightning, I don't think they care that
The
much.
Lightning will not pass up an opportunity to soften you up.
Fair enough.
That
and then,
division will still be on the line, I think, at that point.
I
The teams
agree.
are also close. There's 3 of them.
and then they finish their season against the Panthers, who are really not the Panthers. So that could be a
They
guarantee.
have like no one left.
Blue Jackets have a harder road. So tomorrow against the Red Wings. Then they got to play the Sabres, who are in a dead heat to win that division. That's Thursday.
They're speed wobbling a little too.
And then they got to play the Canadiens Saturday, who are looking for home ice advantage and are feeling pretty damn good about themselves. The Bruins, who have probably some breathing room now because they're 5 points up on the next wild card team. They're not, I don't think they're going to catch the Canadiens or the Sabres. They're 5 points behind them.
But
They've got room.
it,
I don't think so.
depending on how this week goes, it could be for the playoffs.
But the last game of the season. So not only is next game going to be interesting for the Blue Jackets, the last game is, if they're still in it, the Washington Capitals.
Oh! Or it's the Depression Bowl and neither team is in it.
Yeah.
Or it could be, like you said, game of the season.
It would be sad to see the Blue Jackets lose just for the fact that they've been such an interesting story for the second year in a row.
Get in.
But at a certain
Get
point, you
in.
got to lock it down. You got to get
I
in.
know.
Jack
I know.
Reeves has been awesome. Like they've had a great year from him.
Listen, my team's not in it. I'm only cheering for you if you deserve it.
Yeah.
You know, get in or don't. It's
Now,
up to you.
Let's do unfair predictions time. Jesse and Steve. Okay. I'm going to count the third place in the Metro as a part of this and eliminate wild card 1 because I think the Bruins have that pretty much locked. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got
That's fair.
third place in the Metro. Who gets it? It's
I'm gonna say
gonna be
the Islanders.
Philadelphia, Columbus, New York, Washington.
Islanders.
Jesse.
The Islanders.
So you guys are counting on the new coach bump. Interesting.
Yeah. In absence of, like, I don't know what magic it is, but it works.
They've been consistent all year anyway, right? Until recently. Okay. Wild card 2. I'm going to give you all the same teams and add a couple Eastern teams or Atlantic teams, excuse me. Philadelphia, Ottawa, New York Islanders, Red Wings, Blue Jackets, Capitals, all
Devils.
within 3 points of each other.
Devils.
The Devils are at 83 points, so they're out of it, basically.
Not yet.
Not yet. They're not mathematically eliminated.
Exactly.
I think it has
Give me
to
the
be.
Devils.
It has to be Ottawa, doesn't it?
It doesn't have to be. It does not have to be.
I'll say Ottawa.
You're going to say Ottawa. Jesse Blake, who do you say?
The Ottawa Senators, yeah.
So you guys are saying very likely that the Flyers, Detroit, Columbus, and Washington miss. Because you both had the same answers.
How many bad teams are in the East? It's like 3.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot. I actually think the Devils are better than what they've shown this year too. They also have 40 wins.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And they have more wins than the next 2 teams ahead of them. So they have as many wins in regulation. They have as many wins as the Ottawa Senators. The Senators have just lost more in overtime.
Would the Devils have the most wins in the Pacific?
I don't think so. Let me see.
How far off?
Oh, way off.
The
The Islanders have 42. The Penguins have 40. The
That's
Devils
Metro.
have 40.
That's the Metro.
And sorry, Metro. Oh, sorry, you're talking about Pacific. Oh, sorry, dumb. Yeah, they'd have the second most behind the Ducks.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
The Caps, I believe, have the 8th most regulation wins in the league.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So the key is to lose more in overtime. That's what we're saying here.
Apparently.
Man, if only I lost a little bit better than I lost.
You know?
Okay.
The Caps got screwed this year.
Yeah, they did.
I'll be on that bandwagon forever. They're the goal differentials in the positive. You know, looking at a team like the Islanders who got a -1. Like they have a good roster, and if a couple more bounces go their way, they're in the playoffs. And we're not even thinking about this race because we're all just like, oh, the Washington Capitals are a good team, and they got third in the Metro.
They're gonna be back in the playoffs next year.
I think so.
I'm with you. You know, the greatest thing about building an e-commerce platform is that it was super easy. And I didn't do it. It was Jesse that did it. And Jesse, you use Shopify.
Yeah, but I only did it because Shopify made it so easy. You see, it all comes full circle.
Now, Shopify is your commerce expert, world-class expertise, everything from managing inventory to international shipping to processing returns and beyond. And as we know, international shipping, especially when you have a best-selling author on staff, can be a kind of a pain in the ass.
Well, that's me. Oh.
Shipping books is a pain, right?
It is. It is, and I've done it twice.
And listen, they've got award-winning customer service available 24/7. So if it's the middle of the night, you got a problem, you can get a hold of them, and that's the key. Now it's time to turn those what-ifs. Your what-ifs into cha-ching with Shopify.
It has to be 3.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Sign up with your $1 per month trial today at shopify.com/STP. That is shopify.com/STP. Again, one more time. Shopify.com/STP. Play the sound.
Oh, again?
Yeah.
Now it's not a hat trick.
Oilers and Golden Knights in a possible first round preview played on Saturday. Now, I heard from some Oilers fans who were like, oh, the Oilers start winning and you guys stop talking about them. And I was like, okay, so we'll talk about you. You could have had a 5-game.
Why do you have beef with this person?
Because the guy.
I like you. You have never liked me, but I like you.
No, the guy came in. Oh, you're not talking about the Oilers. They're first in the division. Okay, yeah, they are.
This one guy really got under your skin.
No, it was like 4 or 5 of them. And I was like, okay, all right.
Whatever.
All right, we'll bring up the Oilers. They lost to the Golden Knights, where they could have had a 5-game point differential after that, and now it's 1.
They got their buttocks kicked.
So now 1 point separates the Oilers and the Golden Knights, the Ducks and the Golden Knights, because the Ducks and Oilers are tied in points, but the Oilers have the tiebreak. They are first in the division. The Ducks could fumble this.
Ducks might not get home ice advantage.
They might not.
Yeah.
And I do think if it's Golden Knights Ducks in the first round, I'm leaning Golden Knights on that.
I would also. Yeah, you gotta go with experience. That's gonna be my feedback for the Ducks until they overcome it.
Now, to give the
Oilers,
Oilers some credit here, I do give them a pass on some of these losses, not because it's a great team, but because you're missing your second best player, who is the first best player on like 31 other teams.
And they didn't have Hyman.
Yeah, who's going to miss 3 games, I think.
Damn, a good joke would have been, and you don't have Draisaitl.
Yeah. Listen, it was a fun game to watch.
Sure.
The Oilers are weirdly looking better. They are, but it's still not great. Who do you think comes out as winner of the Pacific now? 2 teams tied for first, and then the Golden Knights.
Vegas, it's funnier.
If Vegas steals this, yeah. You're absolutely right.
Way funnier. If John Tortorella coaches them to like 8-0 heading into the playoffs, Marner and the Hart conversation.
Yeah, why not?
That's absolutely the funniest outcome. I'm going Vegas.
Jesse, what do you think?
I'm willing to excuse that loss against the Golden Knights. I think Hyman being out is a factor. I think if that game is a playoff game, the roster's different and they're trying a little harder. I think Vegas needed it more. And Edmonton did what I asked them to do, what I've been asking them to do all season long, which is string together wins. They're coming off of a 5-game winning streak. The last 3 games in that 5-game winning streak were indeed all in regulation, which they hadn't done before that, which is cool to see. So I think they are ramping up here for a good little playoff push. I'm going to be picking them to win a round and 2 and possibly 3 and 4 in the playoff bracket. I think they're going to win the division. I think they're fine. I'm not taking too much from that Vegas Golden Knights game.
Okay. I do think the Oilers are going to be fine too. I think the Oilers are going to win this division. I do. I think the Ducks they're squeezing their sticks a little too hard.
Well, okay, question. Why win the Pacific? What do you gain from that?
Well, then you would play. Let's have a look at that, Steve. You would then play the Utah Mammoth, which is not going to be a fun matchup. They were a point behind the Edmonton Oilers and Ducks right now.
Who has more recent playoff experience than the Edmonton Oilers?
Nobody.
Who has less in the, well, oh man, that's a really good draw for the Oilers.
Yeah.
You have nothing but playoff experience, and it's either the Ducks or Mammoth. Two teams who didn't make it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take it.
That'll be very interesting. I think
You have one goal. You have one mission, and that is to zap the ghosts of the past. And what better time than the present?
and how many games do you give the Ducks against the Golden Knights, guys, if they do have to
Oh, they've been scrappy all year.
That's a close series.
Yeah,
maybe a 6-game, 7-game?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
That's like a 6-gamer.
I'll say 6.
Yeah. That's a good and they also
I might
have
even take the Ducks in that series.
Would you?
I don't know. Depending on I might take the Ducks.
They do have-
because goaltending in Vegas is still so shaky. I'm not trusting Carter Hart. I'm not trusting Aiden Hill at this point. Like, I don't know. Ducks might sneaky win that series.
the Ducks defense too is heavy. Like they're mean. Trouba, Gudis, Lacombe's no joke. Like there's a scenario where there's sort of like you take a little of that Florida and that New York from a couple of years ago and just pound your D.
Oh yeah, no, the Ducks just start killing guys. Yeah. That's absolutely a possibility.
There are guys on the Golden Knights that are sort of big up front, Barbashev being one of them, but like not all of them. And you can contain guys. You push. I think again with the key with the Golden Knights, because they couldn't score last year in the playoffs either as much as they wanted to, push them to the outside. Keep them to the outside as much as possible. Marner in the playoffs, at least in Toronto, tended to play more of a perimeter game. That's where you want him. You're not going to hold him off the score sheet, but you want him on the perimeter.
Well, then you're going to try to take the puck off Cutter Gauthier. You're going to grind him in game 1. You're going to try to
Beckett Seneca.
Beckett Seneca, Leo Carlson. Like, it's just difficult to be that young of a player against a team that battle tested. It's difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a disrespect thing. It's just going by the law of percentages. It's difficult for a team like that to win.
If we were doing our playoff pools today, I would still pick the Ducks. And the reason I would pick the Ducks, even though I think the Golden Knights might win that series,
your
is because
brand.
it's my friggin' brand. I love those guys. I love those guys. And by the way, Jesse nailed it. Lucas Dostal, man. Goalies will win your series.
Oh, yeah. Dostal's great.
So
I did not realize John Tortorella was being reunited with Carter Hart. I kind of forgot about that whole aspect.
Oh, yeah.
I also didn't really understand Hart's health status, and he appears to randomly have become their starter.
Mm-hmm.
well, did you see the
Kind of a big factor.
I don't know if it was anything, but did you see the players not giving Aiden Hill the fist bump? People were making something of that. I didn't.
It didn't look great, but like there was another angle where they
Maybe they
liked
just didn't
him.
see it.
They might have not seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Why would you win a game and then blow by him for no good reason?
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't buy that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything going on here. I think you see 9 seconds on Twitter and people try and make a big deal about stuff.
How come Eichel and Dowd are such dicks?
I don't know if you can make anything of
Can
that.
I also point out he's holding his hand weird?
Yeah, that's not a full fist bump. Oh,
He's
that's
holding
not
it
even-
at hip height. Why?
Oh, there it is. Oh, Eichel doesn't give him a fist bump.
Everyone's poor Aiden Hill. And I'm like, don't hold your hand like that. That's odd. That's odd. That's odd. Anyway.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp, and financial stress affects more than just our bank accounts. It can take a serious toll on mental health and relationships. It's tax season, which can be very, very difficult for people. 88% of North Americans have felt some form of financial stress just at the start of this year.
What if I just like avoid it and don't file my taxes or go to therapy?
I don't recommend either of those things.
Neither do I.
Oh,
Just don't do that and get help and with your taxes and with your mental health.
And what's great is we can not only give you a great option for your mental health, but a discount. When we love that. Now, here's the deal. BetterHelp is on your schedule. It can be, and it's your way too. It can be text, it can be FaceTime, it can be phone call, whatever. And, unlike traditional therapy where it takes weeks to get matched with somebody, and then it's like, well, I'm only available from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekdays when you're working. BetterHelp's anytime. You can
Can
do it
your
at midnight.
therapist do your taxes?
Therapists cannot do your taxes, but can recommend ways that perhaps you're procrastinating.
There we
To
go.
stop you from procrastinating
Yeah.
on doing your taxes. You see what I'm saying?
go.
Because we got to face our things head on. There's 30,000 credentialed therapists right at your fingertips with BetterHelp, and we want you to try it. Okay, 6 million people globally already have. Why not you? If life feels a bit overwhelming, therapy can help. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/SDP. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/SDP for 10% off. Last thing I want to, or last major segment I want to do in this show. Have the Leafs considered actually losing games?
Man.
Like
That game was genuinely very funny.
It was great.
It's some of the most fun I've had on a stream this season.
Good. I'm glad.
That was so fun.
It didn't get really interesting, I think, till the third. The third was fun, and the overtime was fun.
That was a good game.
Oh, it was
Start to finish.
fantastic
Stupid
game.
fucking game.
And I was like, even if the Kings make the playoffs, I think they should give it to whoever's under them. I think they should be disqualified.
That's not
from the
a good
playoffs
team,
after
eh?
that game.
That's not
Holy cow. That was a desperate must-win game. And you allowed Darcy Kemper, shocking.
Is it Kemper or is it the
Yes, it's Kemper.
defensive structure?
No, it's Kemper. Holy shit.
There was some Linus Ullmark level stuff there. There was.
Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, in order for Darcy Kemper to be Linus Ullmark, he will have to allow 1 goal on 30 shots next game. Followed by he allowed, what did the Leafs get? 20 shots?
I don't have it in front of me.
But he also allowed 2 disallowed goals.
Yeah.
He allowed 8 shots on 22. Or sorry, 8 goals on 22.
I was bummed for
shots.
Nick Robertson. I know it was very offside, but I was bummed for him to have that goal called back.
Then he got another one.
He got one.
He did get one, but it was the first one was beautiful.
Wicked shot.
Yeah. He's
Wicked
a wicked shot.
Yeah. 20 shots on goal for the Leafs.
20 shots. So 8 goals on 22 shots if you want to be a jerk about it. But even if you don't, 6 goals on 20 shots stinks ass. And a lot of them were just shots, man.
Oh,
They were just one-on-one with the shooter. Bloop. That first goal Matthew Nye scored, I was just like, ooh, that was real shitty. Yeah, man.
Leafs are currently 7th last in the league. The Panthers could pass them if they have a better next 5 games. So then could the Kraken, who were supposed to be in a playoff race. They're 5th last in the league.
You stink.
The Kraken with
stink.
Bobby McMahon on the heater of all heaters.
I'm so mad at them.
Me too. I need the Leafs to lose.
You're screwing over Bobby McMahon, and I hate you for it.
Harry Nancy and Tyler Hopkins, both Leaf draft picks, have been signed to the Toronto Marlies for the remainder of the season.
Right.
Nice.
Quote unquote professional tryouts that will start their ELCs next year. Now, you did a Harry Nancy video.
I sure did, and that is on the SDPN YouTube channel. I'm going to be doing a bunch of features. Tyler Hopkins is actually next.
Oh, that's great. Now, what can you tell me about Harry Nancy?
Number 34 for the Owen Sound Attack. He is a 5th-round pick from last year who only, as a forward, had 23 points. So I remember being like, okay, I think he had 6 goals, 17 assists. Why did they pick this guy? We first learned about Harry Nancy actually a few years ago. He was part of a viral picture when he was, he must have been 12 years old or something like that, holding 6 pucks because he scored 6 goals in a game. Played with the Owen Sound Attack, had a much larger role this season, and started like an absolute bat out of hell on the Owen Sound Attack power play. He ended with over 50 points. Let me just get my notes out here. But here's the problem with his season. I divided his season into quarters, like I did when we did a profile on Easton Cowan a couple years ago. First 17 games played, 6 goals, 17 assists, 23 points, 34 shots on goal. Second 17, 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points, 36 shots on goal. So the shots stayed relatively even, points went down. Third quarter, no goals, 5 assists, 5 points, 15 shots on goal. That to me is the most concerning part. So now you're not even getting shots. And then 3 goals, 11 assists, 14 points in his final 16 games because he didn't play a full 68, 19 shots on goal. So if you want to divide it into halves, 10 goals, 27 assists, 37 points in 34 games versus 3 goals, 16 assists, 19 points in 33 games. But this is going to make you laugh. The Owen Sound Attack, because of injuries, did something to Harry Nancy that, as it turns out, when you're a winger, makes it more difficult to play hockey. They made him a center because of injuries. They dropped him down lines, and just life was really difficult. He had no points in 4 games in the playoffs, but apparently a flu bug just ravaged the team, and they were never going to do much anyway in the playoffs. They're a really young team. Don't have a ton of 20 or 19-year-olds. But you're looking for...
They were eliminated?
They were eliminated, yeah. So you're looking for... They were swept by the Flint Firebirds, who murdered them. I think they had double-digit goals twice.
Oh, no.
But that happens in the OHL playoffs. It's not uncommon. All you're looking for is year-over-year improvement, and he more than doubled his point total from the year before.
Yep.
They also have Pearson Bowie on that team. Hopefully he stays in the OHL next year and doesn't go to a college or something. And if that's the case, those two are going to wreck shop together for the Owen Sound attack, and that'll be awesome.
Now, the other thing we should talk about...
Toronto Marlies, by the way, have not clinched a playoff spot yet.
Oh.
But they should.
They should.
They also have like 50 people on the roster. I told you. They keep adding people.
And Berube will not let any of them play.
No, definitely not.
For the Marlies.
For the Marlies.
He's going to go down there. Yeah.
Is he under 20? Fuck him.
Will Villeneuve up with the team.
Did not play on Saturday.
Did not play, but he played the night before, took a 5 or 6 hour flight. I understand that. He better friggin' play Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, they've had enough time.
Or is it tomorrow?
No, it's Wednesday.
No, it's Wednesday.
Thursday.
You better friggin' play tomorrow. I mean Wednesday. Jesus. Sorry, it's the end of the show.
Now, the Miroslav Holinka scored his WHL playoff leading 7th goal in double overtime to send the series between Edmonton and Saskatoon to Game 7. That happened last night.
Not that man. Man, does he look good.
He looks exciting.
There's another guy who was a 5th round pick of the Leafs, and good work, Brad.
Yeah. Go, Brad.
Well, really, go Alan Walsh.
Yeah, really. And that is a noted Alan Walsh client. So we're rooting for him extra hard. Darren Dreger reported on TSN, I believe it was over the weekend, that despite what Pelley said to kick off the press conference, that Keith Pelley was actually deeply involved in player personnel decisions. And we have independently heard that from a few other places. So whatever he told you, don't really believe it. Even if it's a technicality or whatever, Keith Pelley was involved. And again, I think it speaks to the fact that Keith Pelley looks horrible right now, not just to you, but to Rogers' upper management, that he is going to have to take a step back from this. You are not the guy. You are not the hockey guy. I had a friend, I'm going to tell you a story. I had a friend who was hired by a major club. And that's all I'm going to say. And my friend is a business guy. And the major club president said, okay, so it's great that you did all this business stuff, right? You've passion. What would you do with the club on the field? My friend looked at him and said, excuse me? And he said, well, what kind of players would you bring in this offseason? Again, I'm trying to be, with the sport. And he said, I don't know. He's like, that's not what I do. And the club president said, exactly. You're hired. And that is what Keith needs to understand. Mr. Pelley needs to understand that he is not the guy that brings in the left winger. I'm not the guy that does the left winger. Here's the thing. You thought you were. So you might not be going forward, but you thought you were.
I heard, here's how bad things are. Like, we keep talking about running 6 sports teams, which is really 9. No disrespect to the esports.
Yeah, the Toronto Koi are very upset with you right now.
So someone who works for MLSE yesterday told me in one of their mail rooms, one of their main mail rooms, when they were just coming in and making cuts, because what they talk about within MLSE is not the lack of team success. They talk about, well, you laid off all my friends. That's what they're upset about, right? So Keith Pelley comes in, lays off all their friends. And in the mail room, they fired the main person in charge of receiving mail. And it took them very little time to realize, no one's here to receive the mail. So they reached out to the guy who they laid off and they said, hey, sorry about that. Shouldn't have laid you off. Would you like your job back? And that person told them, yeah, for triple my salary.
So who's handling it now?
Not him. They chose to instead go with a bunch of interns. Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment is going with interns. They are messing up the most basic features of a company.
Well, because
forget winning games.
It's head count. They're always like, head count. That's how he operates.
Well, if you're head count over ring count, that's what you're going to get. It's what you're going to get.
Can't even get a guy to get the mail.
Can't even get a guy to get the mail.
Can we get AI to do the mail?
And like really simple things like during the World Cup, if there are multiple games in a day, you have to work. Like if you're one of the concessions people or whatever, if there are multiple games in a day, you have to work both games. And the employees are like, well, no, we don't. We're a union, and that is about tenure. What am I? Seniority.
Yeah, seniority.
That's about seniority. And if I don't want to do the second game or the first game, that is my right. And Rogers wouldn't know anything about that. They're not union. So they're in deep shit. They're in deep, deep shit.
I saw a lot of people reference Harold Ballard over the weekend when we were talking about the things that they're upselling. And I think they were right. The most prominent comment is Harold Ballard would applaud this. And they're right. And I think, I hope that this organization that they hire to help them hire people is the right one. Some people have said they're a scam, those types of organizations. I could see that as well. Mm-hmm. I think Sid Sixera, our buddy, was saying that. And in a lot of cases, consultant agencies are a scam. They're a total fucking scam. I'm praying that my take is right, which is Keith realized, I'm bad at this and I better get someone else to do it. That's what I'm praying, but I don't know.
The consultants couldn't do a worse job than he would. At least it would be a bad decision made by multiple people.
Yeah.
Instead of one. Like that's where the bar is, man. It's bleak.
I feel bad for anybody who took anything Keith Pelley said in that press conference at face value. I don't care if he said that he wasn't involved in decision making. He definitely was. I don't care if he says that we're going to take a hard look at this organization and invest money into it and we're not cheap, because they definitely are. I think the way his tenure has gone so far has been a disaster, and nothing he has done so far has given me any confidence in him, and his words mean nothing to me. It's about his actions, and I don't think I should just hope and pray that his actions turn around, because there's nothing for me to believe that they will. I think as long as he's running this thing the way he has been, it could be a long, dark time for the Leafs.
He's done a poor job, but I maintain it's an impossible job. And that goes above him. You fire Keith Pelley, you bring in some other guy.
He's got the latitude now to hire a president. He does. He does have that. He's just got to be smart enough to do it.
You have to know what you don't know, for the love of God, and hire the right people for the Raptors, hire the right people for the Leafs, hire the right people for TFC. Like what? Why are you that involved in signing James Sargent? Is it James Sargent?
Yeah.
Logan Sargent.
No, Logan Sargent is the
drives.
F1 driver. No.
Yeah.
Well, now
James Sargent is actually, that's the name of my great grandfather. Sorry, my bad. That Sargent name is in the family. Why are you involved in that? Why are you being consulted on AHL signings? Like, that's insane.
Why are you dropping Hagee at a press conference? It's because you were involved with the whatever Nye's discussion was involved in trading Hagee and Nye.
Yeah, and you did that. You did that for clout, to make it seem like you know what you're talking about, and it had the exact opposite effect. Yeah. For the love of God, hire people and shut up.
But when he arrived at MLSE, it was, I assume, his plan that he presented to Rogers to get rid of the president's role, because he thought he could handle all of this and just do it himself. We're going to cut a bunch of salaries, huge salaries, and people in charge of these businesses. And then now these guys are going to report directly to me because I'm Keith Pelley. And that is a ridiculous way to enter an organization.
And where would that directive have come from?
Himself.
I think it would have come from above him, because he's got to cut costs. And
no, but I think he presented that to ownership when they were looking for the job, his job.
Well,
when they're like, "Hey, Keith, we want to hire you for this," he says to Edward, "I want to do these things," and then Edward's like, "Yeah, that's a great plan."
But Keith was also the pick, but that Bell, Rogers, and Larry could agree on. That's why it took them so long.
Right. Yeah.
So Keith's not even really the Rogers guy.
So he pitched a foolish idea to an owner.
Because Adam is right. It was all three of them.
Yeah.
Owners.
He pitched a foolish idea to owners that he knew they would pick, regardless of whether or not it was foolish, because the owners are marks. Like I said, Ed Rogers is a mark.
How much does Keith Pelley make in a year?
Oh,
A lot more than you.
Probably $8 to $10 million.
A lot more than
I would think that. Like I know like to run, major organizations, say like the Rangers or something like that. That's what you would
10 million,
8 to 10 in some case. Now, a lot of NHL, like if you're just running an NHL franchise, it's probably more like 2 to 3 million. But if you're in the neighborhood of you're running a media organization and you're running multiple teams, yeah. You got to look at it like if you're an executive, you're like, well, it might be $2 million is a franchise, right? Or $3 million on the high end for the big franchises and $500,000 for the other ones. And I don't know many companies that are worth $6 and $7 billion, which the Leafs and Raptors are on the open market. If they sold today, the Raptors and the Leafs would both go for, their valuations might be 4.5, but their actual market value would be 7 because of the private money. You look at that and you go, yeah, let's just not have somebody running that full time. In what business world does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's what he entered the job and did.
Yeah, and
this was his idea.
And why I think Rogers is pissed is because you look at the role Mark Shapiro has. That's not different than Masai or Shanny. Mark Shapiro has that job, does the business and the baseball, by the way. And I think Keith probably thought, I could do the business and the baseball and the basketball and the soccer and the esports.
Mm-hmm. And why do the Jays have that set up and the Leafs do not? Because as I've said for months, the Blue Jays are the only team Ed Rogers gives a flying fuck about.
They had that set up for 10 years, and it was a very successful 10 years in terms of regular season success and just overall success in the franchise.
Yeah.
And then they got rid of it, and it's been a disaster for 2 years.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Why do you need to own 7 holy
I don't think it's I don't think it's really that, Steve. I really do think it's you hire somebody, you let them do their job, they fuck it up, you fire them. And I think that's where Keith is. Like if the Leafs get out to a bad start
he's already
October,
in that part of the cycle.
Oh, yeah. If the Leafs get out to a bad start in October, he's gone. He knows that. It doesn't matter that the TFC are looking better. It doesn't matter that the Raptors are making the playoffs. It does not matter.
The Raptors are being let to just go twist in the wind there. That's a middling team, and I think I'm blaming Rogers for that.
Yeah.
Because there's been no oversight on this franchise. Maybe they make some changes in the offseason, but I think that's another part of their portfolio that they've kind of just left, and they're just mid, and they've reached the ceiling of what they can be on the court. And that's on Rogers.
This is torture.
And that's the thing. You don't want to be talking about like when did we ever bring up Michael Freesdale?
Never.
The previous CEO of MLSE. You didn't know that fucking guy's name. No. You know why? Because he was smart enough to go, I'm not being involved in that shit.
No. If you did, I'd be like, Adam, I don't care.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly. This is the thing. So I think this is Pelley said, Pelley said, this is the most important hire I will make here. I agree with him. That's the one thing you can trust him on, because if he doesn't get it right now, it doesn't matter if it was the right hire 3 years from now. It better be good in October. If it's not, goodbye.
October.
Yep.
That soon.
He declared into a microphone, we are not rebuilding, which isn't his decision at all. But now I'm holding him to that.
Well, I'm not involved in player personnel decisions, but we're not rebuilding. That means you're involved in player personnel decisions.
Okay, so you take your guess who board of all the executives you could hire. I'm not rebuilding. Okay, well, flick. You knock down all the guys who are like, well, I'd rebuild.
There's a lot of them who would.
And there's a lot of them who are pretty smart guys, and you eliminated them from the search key.
And when I say I'm holding him to that, if the Leafs stink, like you're saying, that he deserves to be fired. Because he said, we're not going to stink. We're not going to rebuild. So then you better be good, Keith. And if you're not, then you failed at your job and you should be fired.
There was a story I heard years ago, and this is how clueless they've always been. They fire Brian Burke before the season, and then shortly after, Tim Lewicki comes in.
That's right.
Who was fantastic.
Yeah. And was he the CEO?
Yes.
He was, the big head honcho.
Yes, he was.
Big head honcho.
Just came in from the Lakers.
Yeah, and they go, Tim, who would you hire to be GM of the Leafs? And he said, Brian Burke.
But
who they had just fired.
It was Rogers and Bell that didn't think Brian Burke was professional enough in the corporate environment to stay. That's why he got fired.
Good Lord.
And then they let Dave Nonis take over and tank the team. Now, I want to quickly mention this. Friedge did say on Saturday night that one of the guys that they're probably looking at, which gives me some happiness and hope, is Sonny Mehta, the AGM from the Florida Panthers, who's done all their analytics.
Sounds good to me.
Great.
Who's his boss?
But yeah, and this is the thing. Here's what's interesting. Again, if Sonny Meta's the guy in there, he's going to have a lot more pull than a Dubas would. Because Sonny Meta's been to 3 straight cup finals. He's got 2 rings. Even if Doug Armstrong, maybe I said this on Friday, even if Doug Armstrong is the president, Sonny's going to be able to be like, how many rings you got? How many recent rings do you got? Exactly. So I want a guy like that with some success. That makes me happy. I hope he's in. If it's Kevin Adams, like,
there's no shot.
I don't mind him being an AGM, but what are we doing?
It won't be.
No.
It won't be.
You don't think so?
Unless.
Anyway, we'll
No,
leave it at
it
that.
Kevin.
Leafs don't play till Wednesday and Thursday this week. So we got some time off. Thank God. Maybe we can spend some time with our families. Let's take a breather from these people. Lots going on this week. Exciting one. And I will be streaming Wednesday night. So that'll be exciting as well. And then anything else?
We're missing the most important part of the show, the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh,
played twice over the weekend.
Panderfest.
I'm willing to excuse that loss against New Jersey. It was back-to-back against New Jersey. I love a little home and home series. Reminds me of different times, when you guys just play every night and it's the old days. Anyway, so both teams play each other both days back in their own barns. They lose that second game against New Jersey, but that's the 6th game in like 9 nights or whatever it is. A lot of hockey.
You are going to lose some games.
Yeah.
You're not going to go a perfect record to end the season. So they lose that one. That's okay. But Arpon Basu wrote a great piece in The Athletic about their run to the playoffs here and playing the right style of hockey. And the one player he highlighted was Arbor Jacki, who was top of conversation a couple weeks ago when he was playing forward for a little bit because they needed the help. And Carrier is going to be out for, I think he said, like 2 to 4 weeks-ish. So Jacki's gotten in the lineup. And Jacki's now playing defense over trying to be physical. And that a little twist in just your mentality there heading into the most important part of the season, which is the playoffs, for a guy like Jacki is really good to see. He's making the little decisions where it's just not, I'm out there trying to take somebody's head off. He's not running out there like Michael Pezzetta every time he's on the ice. He's actually trying to play good defense. And I think top to bottom on the Canadiens lineup, Martin St. Louis has them playing a very special kind of team hockey, and getting a guy like Jacki to buy in on that side of the game is a lot of promise for them because they might need him. Depending on how long Carrier's out, Jacki might get into a couple playoff games here, which isn't something I think they anticipated like a couple of days ago, a week ago. So seeing him play that right style of hockey, I think deserved a little highlight and a shout out.
I like it. Sorry, I didn't know what else to say. Good for them.
Steve say, no, well, this isn't about the Leafs.
Oh,
no.
You're jealous. You're jealous. Yeah, we are a little jealous. I'm not going to lie.
I'm a lot jealous.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I've been telling you that very openly and willingly for a long time. And I'm going to be, now that they've clinched the spot, I'm going to be streaming Habs games.
That's right.
Yeah, we talked 20 minutes about the Sabres clinching a spot. Where's the Montreal Canadiens?
They made the
20 minutes.
It's not surprising.
Where's
They've
the
been to
20
the
minute
finals
segment?
in the last 5 years.
No. Choo, choo, choo. Here comes the train. Nobody
bigger
saw
choo-choo
coming.
is the Sabres.
Nobody saw the Montreal Canadiens coming this season.
The chat on Saturday was just train noises.
It was great. I liked watching it.
Thanks a lot, Keith. You boner. Oh my God.
let's
I
wrap
can't
it up.
believe he just threw that grenade into the fan
Enough of this
base.
Habs
Strubles
propaganda.
playing some of the best hockey of his life. Mike Matheson is
All right, they're all good. We get it, Jesse. Can we?
he's
there's
the
nothing to talk
guy
about.
back there to control all
Good
the
team
young
is good.
kids.
Kapanen.
Wow. Oh, that's so
Kapanen.
exciting.
Oliver Kapanen.
man.
Name the whole fucking roster.
That's the plan. Fowler is back
Dave
up.
he allowed a couple goals on Sunday, but you can't win a game if your team doesn't score goals for you.
And speaking of scoring goals, Struble.
Yes, back to
Struble got in
Struble.
there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Suzuki.
Habs are good.
Does he hit 100?
Cole Caulfield.
Does he hit 50?
Does he have a better Hart case than McKinnon because McKinnon's a merchant on empty net goals?
Yes, moving on.
Man, and don't forget, Lane Hudson is still better than Matthew Schaefer.
I think they
Don't you
should go
forget it.
back and give Slavkovsky a retroactive Calder.
It's just true. Just for how great.
Also, thank you to everybody who reached out to me in my DMs on Instagram or wherever you messaged me. Nick Suzuki, Steve, you can't jinx him because he's never missed a game before. Did you get some of those messages? Remember when a couple weeks ago when we were talking about how Nick Suzuki, he might miss a game at the end of the season. He has never missed a game. He actually has the Ironman streak behind Brent Burns. So I don't think he's going to miss a game just to sit out for health reasons.
What is their
for rest reasons.
What is their next game?
The Montreal Canadiens' next game is, give me 1 second. They play the Panthers on Tuesday.
Okay, great. What's the game after that?
The Lightning on Thursday.
Yeah, he's not playing in that game. Way to go, Jesse.
Why?
He's going to get hurt in their next game.
He doesn't.
Oh, true.
He doesn't miss games.
Yeah, okay.
He's never missed a game.
He twisted his ankle skateboarding to work. That's what
Because of Sam Bennett.
Does Nick Suzuki...
Who texted him after?
Yeah, but yeah.
That's
Does
his teammate.
Nick Suzuki
teammate.
pass Brent Burns and Phil Kessel?
Wow.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's at 532. 532.
That's really good.
The last
Already.
time Brent Burns missed a game was a few months into this podcast.
I know. Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
23rd
I think we got a
November
long way to
23rd.
go to talk about Suzuki doing that, but it's amazing that he's done what he's done.
Oh, yeah.
Like, would never take away from that. That's incredible. It could still happen.
Could still
By
happen.
the way, to wrap it up, big shout out to Parker Witherspoon for punching Matthew Tkachuk in the face, and Matthew Tkachuk going,
That was fun.
Oh, shout out Sidney Crosby for extending the point a game streak. Yeah, you didn't bring it up.
damn it.
Good thing you wrote it down.
Shout out Josh Anderson, Brendan Gallagher, Jake Evans.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.